With apologies to David Byrne, you may ask yourself, why is this man cutting the ends off of cigarettes? And you may ask yourself, why are those cigarettes so darn thin? Okay, enough of that. The reason I'm cutting the ends off of these cigarettes is because it's part of my way of cutting down my tobacco intake. You'll notice this is the pack I'm working with. These are Virginia Slims Super Slims. They're even skinnier than regular Virginia Slims. And I don't know how I ended up trying these out, but I found that if you cut off just a little bit of the filter, about a 1/4 inch, so here's the difference, about a 1/4 inch of the filter's gone. What that does is because the smoke is less filtered, it's a little hotter, it's a little sharper or harsher. So it gives you a more satisfying hit when you take a drag off of the cigarette. It's more like smoking a regular cigarette. And so, oddly enough, because I don't know how this works or why, but because I'm smoking these small ones, I actually smoke a lot less. You would think that I would just smoke more of these little ones to make up for the difference, but no, I actually smoke fewer of these. In the heyday of my tobacco use, which wasn't that long ago, I was smoking 2.5 sometimes packs per day of regular size cigarettes. And now I smoke, trim that off a little bit, now I smoke half a pack, actually a little less than half a pack of these a day. And, well, that's great. I mean, obviously it would be even better if I just quit, and I will. I'm getting there, but right now I'm in the cut down stage. And so why I mentioned there's 2 reasons. So one reason is that if you cut the ends off, you can get a full flavored, or as they say in the advertising, a full flavored hit off of one of these little tiny cigarettes. But the other thing is, because they're so thin, it's easier to put them out halfway through without much waste. If you try to put out a normal sized cigarette halfway through, there's so much that's burning at any given time. If you try to smash out the cherry, it just wrecks the whole cigarette. If you try to kind of flick it off, sometimes it'll take an extra ½ inch with it. It's just, you waste a lot more. Whereas with these little tiny thin ones, you can flick it off, and then, you know, if you have if you're outdoors, you can flick it off. But if you have an ashtray, just kind of fold it off and maybe turn the cigarette a little, and then just hold it down to snuff out, you know, keep the air from getting into it, and then it's out. You can put it back in the pack. And I've got here, is this one cut yet? Yeah, they're all cut. Well, so you can see by the length of the pack that I've cut off about, you know, these are shorter than regular size. But here's one after I smoked 1/3 of it. And here's another one that I smoked 2/3 of. So I can go, basically, by smoking them a partial at a time, that allows me to, I think the word is titrate, but, you know, adjust the amount of tobacco use very precisely. I've even gotten 4 smokes out of 1 cigarette before, but that's a little bit overkill, I think. Anyway, what I found out is that if I just smoke one of these down, I get about 20 drags out of 1 cigarette. So what I do is I smoke, 5, 6, 7 drags, put it out, put it back in the pack, and come back in, an hour or whatever, however long it takes to me to get the urge again, and then smoke another third of it. And so what does this mean? Like I say, I used to smoke 2+ packs a day of regular size. Now I smoke less than half a pack of these a day. So what that means for me personally is that I have better wind. I'm not doing as much damage to my lungs. There's not as much tar and other gunk, so I cough less. I mean, I used to have coughing fits like a lot of heavy smokers do. Now I don't at all. I mean, I sort of hawk up a little extra mucus now and then, but that's it. Really, that's it. I haven't had a coughing fit at all since I started doing this. And so, if I'm climbing a flight of stairs or something, I don't feel as winded when I get to the top as I used to. It's just better all around. And so, obviously, if you're trying to quit, but you're not quite ready yet, but you want to cut down, give this a try. It's worked for me. And also, if you're taking Chantix or one of those other medications that helps you, helps you cut down, that might be a perfect time to try this strategy as well. And just, disclaimer, I do not own stock in Virginia Slims or whatever company makes these things. It's just, something that I found useful and might be useful to you too. So give it a try. Got nothing to lose. Take care.